Hey, hi team. Good evening.
Good evening.
So
Good evening.
how is it going, guys, for all of you? Did you get your tasks assigned or so?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any doubts or any questions for me from the previous session or any other queries? I would be glad to answer those if you have any.
No, no.
Tushar, Harsh, or Divyansh, I would be glad if
No,
you would be having any questions, so I would answer them for you.
No, ma'am.
No.
Okay, so guys, the topic for today's session given to me by the HR is JavaScript. So I just wanted to know the level of understanding you guys propose on this topic before starting this session. Like, are you familiar of what JavaScript is and then how it works and all those things, or it's a new topic for you? So based on that, I'll
yes.
decide the uh, technical details I should give in this session.
We are familiar with Python, but not with Java.
So you're aware of JavaScript, Tushar, you mean?
No, ma'am. We have just heard
We,
JavaScript, not familiar with that.
Okay, okay, yeah. So let me begin with this meeting. Thank you, Divyansh and Tushar. I'll share my screen. So, guys, the topic for today's session is JavaScript. Okay, so in my last session, I just taught all of you like what HTML is, what CSS is, how would you write a normal HTML program in to begin with, and then following by that, we just saw how to run some basic networking commands like ipconfig, netstat, and then how do we check a particular fully qualified domain name, IP address of fully qualified domain name. And then I just taught you how to see if a particular website is working or not working by running a particular paint command. Okay, so after you create a normal website, okay, with HTML you'll not be able to achieve much. Like, you need to add some basic functionalities to your website. So for that, we'll be using JavaScript today, and then I'll tell you how HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are related to each other. So this is our agenda for today. The first topic is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, the comparison, a brief comparison about them, an introduction, and then I'll be like, if you're aware of programming languages in C and C++ and all those things, we have output statements, we have variables, we have keywords, we have functions. So how to declare all of them in JavaScript and bring a functionality to my website, I'll be showing you those today. Okay, so here is the basic difference, guys. So HTML, why I use HTML to define the content of my web page. To CSS, why do I use CSS? To bring a layout or to bring some kind of designing to my web page. Why I am using JavaScript is to program the behavior of my web page. So for example, like what HTML would do is, in this particular example, HTML would give me a brief structure of a human skeleton. Okay, so in technical words, talking about HTML, like if you're writing an HTML code, how you'll begin? You'll begin with its structure. You'll write an HTML opening tag, closing tag, header, body, section, all those things. So what it is bringing to me? It is bringing to me a structure to build my web page. Okay, what CSS is doing to me? CSS is just is just giving me a bit of design and all those things to my web page. So for example, I have designed this slide, I have added some pictures, I have added some colors, I have made this bold. So all these things I'll be able to achieve through CSS. So it will just make my website a bit presentable. But if I want to add actions to my website, or if I want to add some functionalities to my web page, I'll be using JavaScript. Okay, so here you can see, like in human body, if it's a normal structure, it's just an example of HTML. If it's a human being with all the coverings and all the clothes and everything, like makeup and all those things, it is nothing but a CSS. With JavaScript, if you'll see, like it will be focusing on more like how my heart is pumping the blood. We have arteries, we have veins, we have lungs. Okay, so so to the human body, JavaScript, Java, like how all this organs are bringing functional and making a human being to live. Okay, so based on that I'll be showing you some basic things. Okay, so JavaScript is a list of programming statements. JavaScript adds functionality to my program. So guys, if anybody is asking you what is the difference between all these three, you should be able to like give this particular example to give, like, to explain, like to specify the layout I'll be using CSS, to define the content or the structure I'll be using HTML, and then to define the behavior I'll be using JavaScript. Okay, so make sure that you're aware of this. And what JavaScript is, guys, JavaScript is most basically a list of programming statements. It adds a functionality. It will add a functionality to my program, and then it is the programming language of the web. Okay, so you're writing a normal HTML code. Okay, so if you're writing a program in Java, you'll be either using Eclipse or you'll be using other platforms. If you're using C++, you'll be using Turbo C or Turbo C++. Okay, if you're using Python, you'll be installing Python supported application, or you'll be using I'm not sure what application we use, guys, to write a Django. You'll be using Django to write a Python program. Okay, so if in HTML, if I want to write, if I want to achieve all those functionalities, for example, if I want to accept an input from the user, or if I want to print something on the console, I'll be using some some keywords and all those things defined by JavaScript. Okay, so let's move ahead. So for example, if I want to declare a variable, okay, so we've been, like, you guys must be knowing how to declare a variable in how in C or in C++. Okay, we use string, we have float, and then we have integer in C++. Here in JavaScript, if I want to declare a variable, I'll be either using var, I'll be using let, and I'll be using const variable to declare keywords to declare my variable. Okay, and whenever I'm declaring my variable, if I want to assign a value to my variable, I'll be using an equal to operator. Okay, and then JavaScript also supports the arithmetic operators. So for example, plus, minus, into, slash, to compute the value. So all these arithmetic operations are also available in JavaScript. Okay, to assign a value similar to other languages, I have equal to, and then the basic difference here is to declare a variable, I have this var, let, and const options. Okay, and then moving ahead, so if we have JavaScript output. Okay, like in C we have printf, we have console.out. Okay, in C++. Okay, so similar to that, JavaScript also has some output statements. Okay, so we have inner.html, we have document.write. Okay, we have window.alert. So if I want to print my output as an alert box, I'll be using window.alert. Okay, and then if I want writing into the browser console, I'll be using console.log. Okay, so all these are JavaScript output statements. Okay, going ahead, there are several keywords also, like keywords also available in JavaScript. So for example, I told you, right, var, let, and const. It will help me to declare a variable, or to declare a block of variable, or to declare a block constant for const. So here also in JavaScript we have if, we have else. Okay, like, guys, can anybody tell me why do we use if? Like, I think you guys are already aware of.
For conditions.
Yeah, correct. So if you want to see, if I want to print if a number is greater than or less than 20, or if a number is greater than 0, if I want to print only positive output. So for all this conditional type of statements, I'll be using if. Okay, so we have if, we have if else. So all these things are present in JavaScript as well. To bring functionality to your web page, you'll be using JavaScript in HTML. Okay, we have switch. Okay, so if I have a block of statements to be executed, I'll be using switch statement. If I want, if I want to mark a block of statements to be executed in a loop, so for that I'll be using for. We have functions. So for example, how in C we can declare a function, and then we use return keyword to exit from function. And then we have here also, we have exception handling, or if we have exception and error handling, we can do that via try and catch block. And so I guess, guys, there are more. The things are common. Like, all those terminologies will differ. Like, how do we declare all those keywords and variables and output statements? Only that thing differs, but the programming concept will remain similar to what we have in C, C++, Java, and other programming languages. Okay. So here also I'll be using try and catch block to implement error handling and to execute a block of statement, similar to what we do there. Okay, so the concept is same, but the only difference is here the syntax and the keywords will be different. Okay, so let's go ahead. So we have functions here in JavaScript. So if I want to write a function here, I'll be using curly brackets here. Okay, the purpose of code block is to define statements to be executed together. Okay, and then to define my function, I have to use this keyword function. Okay, followed by the name of my function, and then round brackets, and then I'll be opening a opening curly bracket and then a closing curly bracket, and then in between I'll be writing my content. Okay, any doubt, guys? Anybody is having?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, what is the difference between switch statement and if statement?
A switch statement and
If statements. Why should we use if statement, elif, these statements, not switch statement? You're not audible.
hello, hello, Divyansh, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you come again, Divyansh? I did not hear you.
What is the difference between switch statement and if statement? Why should we
Okay.
use switch? Uh,
Yeah, you're correct. So I'll tell you. So so if you're aware, if is a conditional statement. Okay, if is
okay.
a conditional statement. So for example, if you want to print the marks of a student, the mark if you want to print the name of the students who got a score more than 50. So for example, I'll be putting a condition like if marks is greater than 50, okay, then it will enter into this condition loop. Okay, switch statement is nothing but it will have multiple cases involved into it. So for example, I'll be having multiple case A, case B, case C, case C, case D. Okay, so switch is nothing but it's a type of an entry controlled loop statement. So it will check for a condition at the entry point, and if that is true, it will enter into the switch case, and then it will be executing. But if it, but in if, what you'll see is only one condition is being checked, and then if that is not true, then else statement is being printed. Okay, so if marks is less than 50, I'll print that yes, you're passed. If marks is less than 50, then I'll be printing yes, else you're not passed. But in switch statement, I'll be having multiple options. So for example, I'll be having multiple cases. Okay, in switch there is a case concept. Okay, so I'll be having case 1,
Multiple
case 2,
options.
case 3.
Excuse me. Multiple options for one statement, one condition.
Yeah,
No?
multiple options for one statement, correct.
Yes. Okay. And ma'am,
Was I like, are you clear now?
yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yeah,
one more
okay.
question, please.
Yeah, you
Uh,
have another
can you,
question?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, can you please briefly explain functions? I'm not able to understand functions in Python too. So
Yeah,
I
yeah, sure.
can.
I'll be able to do that again. See, here, like I just, one second here, I just mentioned a normal syntax here. Okay. So if you want to write a function in JavaScript, what you have to do is you have to use the function keyword. Okay. And then followed by the function name. Okay. Here inside this, you can write any statement. Okay. So here I'll explain you what does you want to understand what the statement is, right?
No, ma'am. I want to understand function. What does function work in a program?
Okay, okay.
Why do
So
we need
how it,
functions?
okay, I understood. So I'll give you a normal example. Okay. So you're writing a normal addition ka program. Okay, normally. Okay, so if you just wrote, you just declared three variables. You have sum, you have a, you have declared two variables, a and b, and then if you're adding both of them, okay, and then you're getting the result in the sum variable. Okay, you're saying that a plus b is equal to sum. Okay, I'll
Yes.
be getting that output. Okay, you're able to understand this?
Yes.
Yeah. One second. Let me switch on the fan. Yeah, so you wrote this some program, correct? So
Yes.
what you will do is, so for example, a technical lead gave you a scenario that you have to perform sum only when a person clicks on the addition button. Okay. So what in that case you'll do? You'll have to write that sum ka code every time you are entering that sum button, correct? But
Yes.
how functions are useful here is, in a program you'll write this particular code. Okay, imagine this. Okay, you're having an entire program of 100 lines. You have declared this function, my function, just consider this as sum. Okay, you have written this sum function at one place, and then in between you have just declared the code of how sum will work. A is equal to, sum is equal to a plus b. Okay, let me just remove this. Sum is equal to a plus b. Okay,
Yes.
and then you'll be declaring all those things, and then you'll be writing all the entire concept of how addition will work. Okay, so
Yes.
what you're doing is, so if you want to call this particular function, simply you have to use this keyword sum. Okay, so in your entire 100 lines ka program, wherever you feel that you need this particular sum function, you can call it with the name of the function. Okay, you don't have to write the entire sum ka concept every time you want addition to be performed. So this is an advantage of how functions are important into programming language. I think this is very similar to C++ or Java.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what?
Ma'am, but whenever any person who is running my program, if he
Yes.
reruns my program, he'll get to some again same numbers. Like
No, that is not. No, 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 no. So here, what I'm doing is, so here you just understand the concept. One second, let me just Divyansh. So here, how I'll write inside the function code, how I'll write, like the way I write my code is, every time I'll like ask input from the user. Okay, so
yes,
there
ma'am.
are two type of code. So what I'll do is, here what I'll do is, sum is equal to a plus b. I'm doing right. So
Yes,
here I did not declare my variables here. One second, let me declare where a. Okay, I am not giving any constant value to my variable a. Okay, so where
yes,
a I am doing, where b I am doing. Okay,
yes.
and then what I'll do is where sum. Okay, so every time it will ask input from the user to give me value for a and b. If I want to give a constant value, like how you are showing, if I'll do this, so every time you hit on the sum button, you will get this output as 10 plus 5 is 15. So
Yes,
this is the difference. I'm not doing in this way. So every time a user will click on the sum button, it will ask input from the user, like what addition you want to perform, whether you want 2 plus 2 or whether you want 2 plus 4 or something like this.
ma'am. My doubt is, like, ma'am, please can you go to the screen? That
Yeah, you
screen.
want me to go on the presentation screen? Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, if we do not use function here,
Mm-hmm.
the first line function, and
Huh?
we just declare this where sum, where a, where b, three
Mm-hmm.
variables, and
Huh?
sum is equals to a plus b, and
Okay.
execute the program. Well,
Mm-hmm.
there also user needs to input something, and then what is the use of function here?
No, I'm telling you this sum ka example in a calculator program. So, for example, if you're having a calculator ka code, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, just consider this example, like you have addition, subtraction, you have all these things, right?
Yes, yes,
So, if you just write one program only for addition, one program only for subtraction, okay, and then inside my program you have other functionalities also. So, for example, if I'm purchasing some 10 kgs of potatoes, and then if I want to perform an addition again, in that scenario also I'll be able to call that call that sum function again whenever wherever I need in my code. So the like the advantage of function is, like, it will give you a block of statements, like whatever is your need. Okay, whatever is your need. So for example, if you even inside function you can write, if you can write as anything, you can write inside a function. And then whenever you like, function is mostly used for a repetitive ask. So for example, every day you're going to a shop, you're coming back. Okay, so that code, whatever is there in a loop, so that code you'll write inside the function code block, and then you'll be calling it whenever you are needing it in your program.
okay. Uh,
Yeah. So only the functions are useful. But so for example, you have a program, okay, and then you don't need to call some function again and again, and then there you're writing function, then that does not make any sense. You'll be using functions only when there is a repetitive ask, okay, only when there is a technical repeatability. Okay, so if I see here, if I have a program, and then if this block of code needs to be executed, for example, 10 times, then in that case I'll be using functions.
So
I
that
can
means
write.
if I'm having a grocery website and I need to use some function multiple times.
Yes,
So,
correct. So
oh,
in that case you'll be using these functions in your program.
okay, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yeah.
I have started doing lead code questions. So the
Mm-hmm.
first question was this only, sum of two functions, and it's asking for it is asking for to use def means functions for that program. I didn't get it
Okay.
how to use function for some program. I'm not able to.
Mm-hmm. So what is the language you're using there, Divyansh?
Python, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, like, I believe I know Java, I know this C, I know C++, I know JavaScript. So in all this in all these places we use Java, we use functions only when we have a repetitive ask. Okay. So, for example, as you said, if you have a grocery shop and then you need to perform addition, subtraction multiple times, then you'll write this code at once, and then you'll be calling it multiple times.
I'm stuck in that lead code question only, so I'm confused due to that question, ma'am. That
Mm-hmm.
what is the use of function in a sum function in a sum
Mm-hmm.
program? Now I get it, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let me go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome. Uh, yeah, so this is a normal example of JavaScript. Okay, so how I'll write my JavaScript program is like I'll be entering into HTML body, and then these things will be common, like script language is equal to JavaScript and all those things. And then, as I told you, document.write is a output statement. Okay, so I'll show you here. Where was that slide? Yeah, so if I want to print anything on the console, I'll be using document.write. Okay. So there are multiple. I'll show you window.alert in our HTML, all those things also. I'll run the program since you guys are new. Okay, guys. Any doubt in the presentation?
No.
JavaScript is like a programming language.
Yes, correct. JavaScript is a programming language. It is similar to it. It's a programming language similar to C, C++. All the concepts are similar here. Only thing is syntax and keywords.
Like for example, I am working on
Mm-hmm.
Java language. I can use HTML, CSS with Java for full stack.
No, I don't think you'll be able to use it with full stack. I
Java
think full stack will still support, but I don't think Java will support HTML codes.
JavaScript is compulsory for full stack with HTML,
Yeah,
CSS.
for full stack, I think you'll be able to do, but I don't think with Java programs, how you execute compiler will be able to learn these keywords. With full stack, I think you'll be able to do it.
So JavaScript is also important now for.
Yes, yes, correct. JavaScript is important. JavaScript mostly, guys, you'll be able to see if you're developing a fully like if you're developing a fully fledged website, okay. And nowadays, I don't think people are using JavaScript and other stuff. Like if you are a hardcore programmer or a developer, then you'll be using JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. But nowadays, we have inbuilt templates also available on GoDaddies and all those things to build your own websites. Yeah, but again, if you want to learn at a very beginner level, JavaScript is important. Yeah, I'll be writing here. Hello class. Okay, so we have started with script. Okay, we have started with document.write. I just wanted to print this statement on the console. So I'm using hello class. I have ended my script with slash script and then slash body slash HTML. So I'll save this. So for JavaScript, the extension is .html. Okay, similar to what we were using for HTML programs. Yeah, so if you're able to, let me just close all these things. Yeah, so we can see here the output as hello class. Okay, so we have different what do we say, we have different output statements. So I'll show you the other one also. So for example, here we can write window.alert also, window window.alert, and then hello. Let's say, let's not write hello class. Let's say I'll perform an operation which is 2 plus 2 on the alert window. Okay, let me save this. Let me refresh it. Okay, you see here I'm getting an output as 4. Okay, I have other programs also. I think we're running out of time, so what I'll do is, if I let me see if I have yeah, this is one. I'm searching for the other one. Yeah, so let me just show you how this program is. So I told you, right, in that function block there was get element by id thing. Okay, so if I want to print a statement, okay, based on the its element id, okay, so what I'll do is, like, everything has its unique identifiers. Okay, so for example, all of us have our Aadhaar cards. Okay, so if I want to print a statement, okay, with its element id, okay, so what I'll do is I'll declare this id first. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm declaring my id. So here what I'm choosing my id as demo. Okay, so I've declared my id as demo. Okay, and then what I'm doing is we all know that to declare a variable in JavaScript we'll be using let, const, or var. Okay, so here I have used let variable. So I have declared abc. So what I'm doing is, in a I'm storing 5, in b I'm storing 3, in c I'm storing a into b. Okay, and then this is the output statement which I'm using, document.get element by id, and my id is demo. Okay, and then this particular id I'm storing in the variable c. This is my c. Okay, so I'm storing this output in c variable. Okay, so let's just see what's the output. So I'm getting 15. Okay, so this is another kind of printing statement available. Like, if you want to print a element using its id and then store a variable into, and then store the output into a third variable, here I can simply run document.write document.write c. Okay, I'll be able to simply get the output. But here I just wanted to demonstrate how do we use document.get element by id demo. So that's why I use this. Okay, let me just open some other programs also. Okay, so you're aware of string operations present in Java or C++? Anybody?
No, ma'am. String operations, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, string operations. Like, we have string operations. So for example, if somebody is asking you what is the length of the string Divyansh Yadav, okay, so what
Yes.
operations you'll be performing. So all those functions I did in C, we know how to do in C++. In JavaScript also you'll be able to perform those string operations. So for example, what I have done here is I have declared a variable of str. Okay, and then in my str variable I have morning. Okay, and then what I'm doing here is I have declared another variable which is len, and then inside my len variable I'm using this str.length. Length is the keyword here, length. Str is the top variable name which I'm using. So what it will do is it will show me the length of this particular variable str, whatever is there in str. And then what I'm doing is I'm doing document.write len. Okay, so officially what it should do is it should give me the length of morning. Okay, so let's just run this program. Any idea, guys, what should be the length of this string? Anybody can just tell me? Tushar or anyone?
6.
8,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
6, 7.
Why 6? Anybody
Ma'am,
can tell me why 6?
indexing, ma'am, it will start from 0.
Yes, I just wanted to hear this out. That's why I asked this question. Okay. I'll show
Then
you. Yeah. So
total
array
length
indexing.
and
Yes, correct. So
sign.
array indexing always starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, even an empty space is considered as a number. Okay, so let me just run this code. Yeah, so we can see here 7. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll add here a space. Okay, I'll add one more space here. So spaces are also considered. Okay, let me just control S. You can see here 8. Okay, so I just wanted to hear this array indexing ka thing. Isliye I asked you uh, like how what would be the length. Okay, so there are many more operations as well. So what I'll do is I'll show you more. So here we learn two length, right? So what I'll do is str dot, we have two uppercase. Upper, I think C would be capital, two uppercase. Okay, I'll be writing this in angular brackets, and then document dot write len. So what it will do is it will convert my morning to uppercase. Okay, it is like JavaScript is highly case sensitive, guys, here. So you have to make sure that U is capital, C is capital, and then T is small, because it will not run if I make it. I'll just perform an error as well, and then I'll show you. So you're able to see, right? My small morning got converted into uppercase. Okay, I'll just show you. I'll just make a mistake here. Okay, and then I'll run my C into small, and then you'll be able to see that I'll not get any output. See, I'm not getting any output. So there's one more thing with JavaScript is it's highly case sensitive. So you have to make sure that you're using you're very careful with this. So if I write here to lower, okay. Okay, so all this string should be converted into lowercase. And go here, I'll run. So you're able to see, right? My uppercase got converted into lowercase. And then there are many class. I think this is just whatever I'm able to recall, I'm just performing those. I think there are many more functions. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll be using, so for example, I have, let me just show you a replace string function, hello world. Okay, so if I want to replace world with some other functions, we have str.replace. Okay, str.replace. I want to replace hello with hi. Okay, so here I'll be writing whatever I want to replace, and then followed by I'll be writing whatever I want with the new one. Okay, so str.replace hello, comma, the new variable I'll be writing. So I want to replace hello with hi. So I'll write hi here. Hi. And then I'll be printing this. Control S. You can see hello is replaced with hi. So this, like there are two arguments in this replace function. First would be the existing value, and then the second value would be the second argument would be the new variable, new input which you want to give. Okay. I think let me see if I'm able to recall some other programs. Yeah, guys, you can explore more. I guess there is a page. Let me just show you this W3 schools. Okay, W3 schools. I think this is the best place to study JavaScript. Okay, so here you'll get a prompt also. JavaScript introduction. So if you go here on this W3 school, you'll be getting multiple options, guys, to study. So you'll be able to see JavaScript operators. How do operators work? So as I told you, we have equal to, plus, minus in a very brief way. Okay, so you'll be able to perform all those. So if you click on try it yourself, you'll be able to perform those operations yourself as well. So this is a very good place to learn entire JavaScript. So you will be having this one second, JavaScript sort array, no, JavaScript match, loop, break. See, JavaScript ka if ka statement I have. So if what we'll do is if hours is greater than 80, then greetings is equal to good day. So I'll be able to run it myself as well. So this is a very good place to learn JavaScript. And then initially, I also started my learnings from here only. If I have JavaScript switch, this was your doubt, right? JavaScript switch statement. So you'll be having multiple code blocks. So switch statements are mostly, as I told you, it's an entry controlled loop. Okay. So here in entry point, it will check for the expression and then it will see which case is being matched. And then else, if nothing is being matching, it will display the default statement. You see here. See, new dot date get date. If I want to get the day, okay, I'll be able to print all these things. You'll be able to see here. See, today is Wednesday. So here date function is being used, right? So that's why it is displaying today is Wednesday in case 3. So date function will display you current date and time. I think I have a program also for that. See, it is displaying. I will show you that program also. Wednesday 26th, 2024, and it is showing me the time as well. Let me show you this program. So these are inbuilt. These are nothing but inbuilt functions available. So see here, I'm using date. Okay, so here also I'm using date and I'm getting the current date and time. Here also in the W3 school program, where did it go? Yeah, it is using date. This is an inbuilt function available. So you'll be able to, you can just go through all these things. Okay, it's very good to start your JS function definition. See, function will be declared in a code to be executed, and then inside the function you're giving this, and then function expressions. So you'll be able to get more insights into it, which I'll not be able to cover into 40-minute session. If you want, I'll just ping. I think guys you're aware of this W3 schools, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So just go through this to get more insights of what JavaScript is. You'll be even able to practice much on JavaScript variables, functions, and all those stuff to get more hands-on on.
Okay.
Yeah. Any doubt, guys? Anybody is having?
Ma'am, have you checked our work we have done? Yeah.
Divyansh, can you come again?
Have you checked our tasks we have assigned? We have been
No,
assigned.
Divyansh. Actually, there's a separate team for it. I'm not the assigned person. I'm just allocated for trainings. I think HR would get back to you on the tasks you have given.
From where we will get the reviews?
You'll get the reviews from the HR itself.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I just work as a freelancer, so I just take sessions, and then mostly if you have any doubts to address those doubts, um, uh, I, I work on. Like I'm not dedicated into Learnovate. I just work as a freelancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ma'am, one more thing. As I'm doing Python, what should I do to get a job? Firstly,
In Python, you mean?
uh, I'm I'm upgrading myself as a Python developer for
Okay.
job. What more things I can add up?
Like in Python, I believe there are there you're aware about what